What's up, guys? Did you know Texas barbecue was accidentally invented? Listen, I got an offset smoker behind me. Let's dive right into it. All right, there she is. An offset smoker engineered by the oil field workers in the 1950s and 60s in Texas and Oklahoma. Now, how did they invent Texas barbecue and not even know it? Well, back in the day, those guys who worked in Texas, a lot of them came from out of state. And they had pits they used to dig in the ground back home. They had brick pits. They had smokehouses. They had, generally something heat-wise underneath cooking the meats that they were cooking. So they wanted something modular. They wanted something heavy-duty. And they had a bunch of spare pipe. So they threw something like this together. All right? Fire goes in here, comes into here via heat and smoke, and then out the smokestack. Now, here's how they didn't know they invented, or, they weren't engineers. They didn't know what they were doing. They knew they wanted flavor from back home. That's all they knew. Here's how they invented Texas barbecue. It's through thermal stratification. And it's when heat favors a certain place in something, or a lake. It could be fluid. It could be, whatever. Fluid, gas, so on and so on. Heat favors coming into the cook chamber and staying at the top in an offset smoker. And then you have cool air at the bottom, right? It favors being there, And the heat comes up and it goes out through the smokestack and all that. Now, what does that mean? Okay, Texas-style barbecue is focused on bark. You have bark development, bigger smoke rings, and so on and so on. This is a Texas-style pit. So if through thermal stratification, you have all the heat coming up to the top and you have cool air at the bottom, and your central area is your grill grate, with making it a top-down cooker, why in the hell would somebody do this? Enter the chat, the downward baffle. I know, we just took an interesting turn here. This is kind of a bash video. Why would you throw heat down into the center of the cook chamber and then let it rise? Why would you not try to maximize thermal stratification with some sort of device, with something that made it better? I mean, if you put this grill grate in like that, where's your heat coming right now? Previously, with a big hole over there, you have it coming in right around here. All right? We're going backwards. Everybody's going backwards. First, it started out with taking out this thing, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, this works 10 times better. Guys, please don't forget this. History does not need to repeat itself. It really doesn't. Thermal stratification, just like this, is why the Texas barbecue exists. Now, I know it's not most favored. It's only like 21% favored versus the 44% for Kansas, I think it was like Kansas, Missouri, if I'm not mistaken, style. Don't quote me on that. I know Kansas is in there. 44% versus 21%. But listen, why would a Texas offset smoker be handicapped with a downward facing baffle? Why not enter the chat of the upward deflector plate to maximize thermal stratification? That's my question. That's why I came up with this. This is my design. It's patent pending by me. So, let me put this over here. Open up this and maximize thermal stratification. Like that. Have the heat come in, smack that, go up and over all the food, and you can use the whole grill grate. Instead of with the, the old school smokers, what they came up with it in the 50s and 60s, you had to avoid that area. Well, why not resolve that? Why not do something like that and have it come up and over, and you can use the whole grill grate about right here, somewhere right here, and use the whole grill grate. Everybody was afraid of that back in the day. We went backwards. We did baffle plates, we did reversal plates, and so on and so on. So, I came up with that. That is what this pit is meant for, thermal stratification. Heat goes up, it stays up, and it cooks all your food from the top down. If you're cooking with tuning plates and baffle plates and all that sort, you're not using a Texas offset how it should. All right, this video's gone long enough. This is an opinionated video. It's biased. You can obviously see that. That's enough talking. We're going to do a battle of the baffles here pretty soon. Downward versus upward. what do you think the biscuit test is going to come out to be? I mean, if you got a downward baffle throwing heat into the center and coming up right there, obviously you're going to have something burnt right there. All right, guys. Y'all take care. That's my 2 cents on that. See ya.